Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Shout out to everybody already in the building. Already 100 people tuned in today's show, and we've got a lot to talk about as we are officially past the midway point of Giants 2024 training camp. That means the NFL season is right around the corner, and next week, we are going to be doing a watch party for week 1 of the preseason against the Detroit Lions, and I better see all of your beautiful faces there. Before we dive into today's show, I need all 100 people watching to light up the comment section for me. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to go through some thoughts on training camp. We did a video this morning. Last week when we did a video, in the morning and we showed it on the live show. You guys didn't like that, so we're not going to be showing the video that we did today. You're going to have to go watch that on your own time. But we'll talk some training camp, obviously. We're going to talk some Daniel Jones. You know that's what we do here. I've got 5 rookies that are exceeding expectations at training camp. We'll break that down. And also ESPN came out with the 53-man roster projection for the New York Giants. And there were 5 players that I deemed as surprise cuts. So we're going to break that down on today's show. But shout out your city for me in the chat. And if you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. We got some real ones in the building. Shout out to Carl, Joey DeLuca, Nick's Galaxy, Mike G. Says, looking tan and handsome, my guy. I appreciate you, man. I think we've officially gone from sunburn to tan. We're officially at that point. I've been using more lotion now than I did at 13 years old on my face, this time on my face, trying to stay moisturized, keeping the skin fresh. No one likes when your face starts peeling. That's white people problems for you. But I'm trying to make sure my skin is not peeling, man. I do not want that to happen. Shane Tompkins says, looking less red, my dude. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday when I came back, I was pretty damn red. I think we've officially gone from red to tan, though. So, I got to keep the tan, man. Makes me look good. I mean, I already look good, but I mean, with the tan, I go from like a 4 to a 5 on a scale out of 1 to 10. Shout out to Viral River in the chat. What up, what up? Giants fan 56. My man Rashad in the building. What's good? Albert hanging out with the real ones. King Lobo. What's up, Brody? Angel. Noel. Marquez says, hey, from Puerto Rico. Big Giants fan. Love that, my man. What up, Joey? Everybody having some fun hanging out with the gang. Jaden Rossi, what's up, man? Shout out to all of you. 107 people watching. Only 28 likes, though. So if you could, please, please, please hit that thumbs up icon. Rashad says, losing weight, skincare. Now just hits the weights, Marsh. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to become a big dog. It doesn't happen overnight, though. I've been on my push-up grind trying to get the chest looking right. Gus Nini says the tan is looking good. No, yeah, the tan's coming in nice. My back is definitely peeling, I'll tell you that much. That's not fun at all. That's not fun. My man Nick's Galaxy holding it down from Brooklyn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've got Eric Cruz in the building. What's up, Eric Cruz? That's my guy right there. Shout out to Gus Nini. Eric Cruz turning in from Vegas. Or I completely misread that. That does not say Vegas. That says Philly. I'll be nice to you, Eric, but it's always F Philly. Shout out to Joey DeLuca for coming in with our first super chat of the day. Shout out to Joey DeLuca. Can y'all tell we've updated the graphics a little bit? We've gone with more of a vibrant, flat look. I don't know if you all can tell, but we've got some new graphics. I hope you guys appreciate it. Denrod, what's up, my man? Joey, appreciate you tuning in. Always showing love, always bringing energy to the chat. And I always got love for that. Joseph says, I've been to 5 camp practices. DJ 8 was looking good today. Yeah, today was Daniel Jones' best day of training camp so far. We did a video on that earlier today. We showed you some highlights. We'll show you some more highlights today. It's a lot more fun when Daniel Jones plays good at practice. I'll tell you that much. It absolutely is. C. Sanders, what's up? Daniel Berry, Sports Highlight. Hey, everyone. Happy Thursday. What up? We got the Bronx Boy in the building. What's up, Bronx Boy? My guy, my guy. He sent me maybe the most out-of-line DM I've ever seen in my life, and it was fitting because it was from Bronx Boy. Mike G coming in with a $10 super chat. Still the best initials in the game. Shout out to MG. He says, Marsh, always good to see you, my brother. Hearing McFadden might lose his job to a UDFA. Yep, Deontay Johnson, the second-year UDFA. He came out of the draft, or out of college, Toledo, in the 2023 NFL draft. Did not get drafted. Spent time on the Giants practice squad last year. And Deontay Johnson is looking like a stud so far at training camp. Yesterday, I did a video, my 5 biggest training camp winners, and Deontay Johnson was on it. He's looked good. Bobby Okereke sung the praises of Deontay Johnson today. I'm not so sure that he's going to take the spot of Micah McFadden, but that deepens that rotation, and it adds good depth to this team. This team lacks depth. Honestly, lacks a little bit of top-end talent, but if you're able to hit on a 2023 UDFA at the linebacker spot and he can contribute in special teams or any spot on defense, that's going to be able to be a huge boost to this team, and I'm a fan of it. Johnson says the reason he feels that he is having the most success right now is because the defense that he ran at Toledo is very similar to the defense that Shane Bowen is deploying for the New York Giants. So he already knows the schemes, he knows the reads, he knows the keys, he knows how to work in that defense, and the results are already showing for him. Deontay Johnson, looking like a stud. Shout out to Mike G. Mike G, Deontay Johnson, all those kids do is hit dingers. All they do is hit dingers, man. Remy the Enforcer, $2 super chat. Shout out to you for supporting the show. Remy, what up? Says Daniel Jones plus minus or over under 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns. Let's go over on the yards. I'm going to go under on the touchdowns. I want to say over. Trust me, I want to say over. I just don't see it. Maybe 25 total touchdowns, maybe passing and rushing, but that's where we are on that. Before we get any further into today's show, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app and use that promo code ChatSports and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. If you're looking to go to a baseball game this summer, you want to go to the preseason game in a week for the Giants at MetLife Stadium against the Detroit Lions, you want to go to a Knicks game this fall, you want to go to a concert, theater event, comedy show, get your tickets with Game Time. I've used all the ticketing apps out there, and none of them come close to Game Time. It's user-friendly. The app is very easy to navigate, and they take care of you as a customer. You get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer, and the app will alert you when a flash deal is going on, meaning now is the time to buy those tickets you've been looking at. Get hooked up with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. That's ChatSports. I'll make sure all of that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Before we dive into it, my last question here. What is your confidence level in Daniel Jones at this moment? At this moment, here on a Thursday, August 1st, what is your confidence level in Daniel Jones? 1 being you're not confident, 10 being you got the most confidence in the world in him. I thought he had a really good practice today, but it doesn't really change how I feel about him, which, look, that's just how I feel. He's got to show me on Sundays, in the fall, and in the winter, and in the early parts of the spring, I guess, if you want to count February's winter. What am I even saying? I'm at about a 5.5, 6. Closer to 6 than 5, though, so maybe like 5.6. Every inch matters, man. Every inch matters. Hands down, 5 for confidence, he says. Got to prove it. I'm with you, Bronx boys. Got to prove it. Come out and let's go 1-0. Let's go beat the Minnesota Vikings, be 1-0, and let's go play Washington with a chance to be 2-0. That sounds pretty damn good to me. We cool with that? We go beat the Vikings, and then we go play the Commanders with an opportunity to go 2-0. Every single person that watches this show, over the 1 million+ people a month that watch this show, they would all sign up for that. Absolutely. Carl says, shout out to Daniel for being one of the most polarizing players in Giants history. Crazy. It is insane You have your diehard Daniel Jones fans who I actually think are bigger Daniel Jones fans than Giants fans. And then you got people on the other side where it's like, I don't even want that kid to breathe the air that I'm breathing. I try to keep in the middle, probably closer to the side where I just don't believe in him, but that's not because of hate. I don't hate the kid. I like the kid. I don't know, but everyone's F Seeps. F Seeps. That's for sure. We can all agree on that. What do we got coming up in today's show? We're going to react to the latest Giants training camp news. I've got 5 rookies that are showing up and showing out. ESPN came out with a roster projection. I thought there were 5 players that were surprise cuts, and then we're going to close today's show with a mailbag. So if you want to get your questions featured, drop a question in the comments and use hashtag Giants or Super Chat. And today's deal of the day, every $50 Super Chat that comes in, I'm doing a beer shotgun. Every 50 that comes in, I'm doing a beer shotgun. Came back from vacation. I want to keep the vacation vibes going. Football's back today, baby. The Hall of Fame game's tonight. I'm pumped up. Every 50, we're doing a beer shotgun for the boys. If you're ready for the stream to start, hit that thumbs up icon. 140 people watching, only 53 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Rookie numbers. Hit that thumbs up icon right now. And if you have liked the video, give me a me down in the comments section. The last 2 are game time. Yes, sir. Shout out to Game Time for sponsoring today's show. And if you've liked the video, shout out to you. Shout out to Remy the Enforcer. Gilly. What's up, Gilly? Joey DeLuca. Jason in the building. What's up, Angel? Shout out to you. Don't forget to like the stream. Shout out to my man, Carl. What's up, OG? You having a good summer, bro? I miss Nick's Hoops, man. Shout out to Brian Brown. Gilly, why was that guy on my neck today on Twitter? He was on my nuts. That's why I asked him how they tasted. Dolphin Storm says, sup, Marshy? What's up, man? Shout out to the kids. The Cortez 408, what's up? Shout out to y'all. Hit that thumbs up icon because we're at 68 likes. Who's going to be the 69th like? Let's dive into it. The New York Giants are past the halfway point of training camp, and there are 5 rookies that have shown up and showed out, and they have made me take notice. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. On today's show, I'm going to list 5 rookies, including 2 UDFAs, so really 7 players overall that I think are making big-time impressions at their first Giants training camp. And let's start with the obvious one. The number 6 overall pick, the pass catcher out of LSU, Malik Neighbors. He is as good as advertised. He looks better than I thought he ever would have. And Malik Neighbors is going to walk in and change life for the New York Giants on offense. Shout out to my guy, the Giant Take Podcast on Twitter. He's been letting me show some of his videos that he's taken at training camp on the show. So show him some love on Twitter. How about you tweet at him? Giants Now, and tag me, and I'll give you a follow back. But look, Malik Neighbors cannot be guarded by anybody out there, whether he's trying to take the top off the defense, whether they're working in the red zone, whether he's in the slot. No matter where he is, all the guy is doing is making plays. And after he was selected number 6 overall by the New York Giants, my immediate thought process was this guy needs to be one of the best receivers in the NFL within 5 years. Because if you're going to take a receiver in the top 10, they got to be special. And that's where my expectations were. And I know we're just the start of training camp. He has surpassed those, and I think he's going to continue to do those on Sundays. You always want to be careful with training camp hype. I remember standing right here this time last year telling everybody Darren Waller's back. Darren Waller's going to make a difference for the Giants. And I actually thought he did when he played, and I thought he would have continued to do so if he was able to stay healthy. He hasn't. Difference is, Malik Neighbors is 20. He hasn't even thought or looked high enough to see the ceiling of his NFL career, whereas Darren Waller was hoping to get back on the other side of the fence where he had already jumped the shark in his NFL career. Every single day we see a new Malik Neighbors highlight. One-hand catch here, slant route to the house here, working in the reverse game, working in the short, working in the deep. Every day we're getting a new highlight. But the best thing about it is his best skill set, his best way to affect a game has not even been shown yet. Yes, the pads are on at Giants practice, but they're not really bringing people to the ground, especially wide receivers. And the reason Malik Neighbors went in the draft where he did was because of what he's able to do when the ball is in his hands and he's trying to go score a touchdown. This guy is a yards after catch machine. He gets north and south. He is a generator with the football in his hands, and we haven't even seen him do it yet. I'm not trying to hype this guy up. This is the best Giants offensive playmaker since Odell Beckham Jr. And I'll tell you this much. I don't know if Malik Neighbors is just that damn good, but I am worried about Cordell Flott because this young man, also an LSU Tiger, cannot guard Neighbors. And that's disappointing. Because I thought Cordell Flott, after being a third-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, was going to be a cornerstone piece for the New York Giants on defense. It hasn't happened, and Malik Neighbors is showing you why every single day of training camp that I told you I was batshit scared of this Giants secondary. They got to go out and get Stephon Gilmore, man. Let's continue to talk about the secondary. Luckily, Andrew Phillips, the third-round pick out of Kentucky, is playing really well. And this is a guy that the Giants loved through the pre-draft scouting combine, and you kind of saw that in Hard Knocks, and I love the answer Andrew Phillips said when Brian Dable asked him about the one trait that he can hang his hat on. He says, I'm not scared of anybody. Stone cold killer. And to play in the slot, to be a DB in the National Football League, you've got to have a different kind of mindset. You got to be on a different type of time. And not only is he playing well, he's doing it against the big dogs. He's already been working with the number one defense going toe-to-toe with the number one offense. He will compete for the starting slot job as early as week 1. I bet that we could see a starting cornerback trio of Deonte Banks on one side with Nick McLeod on the other side and then Andrew Phillips in the slot. I'm not ready to go there yet. I still think this is going to be the starting lineup, but we could see an immediate change very quickly where Cordell Flott goes from CB2 to CB4, and then Andrew Phillips goes to slot, and Nick McLeod, he goes to CB2. I know the Giants have added some players like Goodrich and Borders over the past couple of days. They signed Herndon after OTAs. They signed David Long Jr. after the NFL draft. I still don't think the Giants have enough talent in this depth chart, but I am starting to really like the idea of Andrew Phillips being a cornerstone piece for this defense for the long term. I know he missed the first couple of practices for the New York Giants, but phenom, big, fast tight end Theo Johnson, he looks good, man. And this is a guy that, in my final mock draft, I had the New York Giants taking him. I told you guys throughout the draft process, I love Theo Johnson. Big, fast, and can catch. 6'6", 264 pounds, and he graded out in the 99th percentile of all scouting drills at the NFL Combine. And the best part about it is Brian Dable loves Theo Johnson. And anytime your head coach pretty much makes the case for your team to go out and select a player, that's going to bode well for the long-term plans of that player as a part of this organization. And I think Theo Johnson could be the tight end of the future for this team. I'm actually pretty confident in that, and I think we're going to look back this time next year and potentially say the Giants, they let Theo Johnson fall to the 4th round. We saw him catch that seam pass today. He's made a couple of other catches. I remember one over the middle a couple of days ago where he caught it and he hit it. He went north and south. This guy looks good, man. I'm very excited to see what he does on offense. Let's stay on offense. Just go to the backfield. Rookie running back Tyrone Tracy, the guy that was a wide receiver, switched to running back. He looks good. He looks fast. He looks explosive. He gets north and south, and he just looks like an NFL back out there. I loved a play today that I saw. It was just a stretch play from the gun where Daniel Jones handed off to Tyrone Tracy, but he had Motor, Devin Singletary right here in the gun next to him. Then Tyrone Tracy motioned into the backfield with him next to him. And we had 2 backs on each hip of Daniel Jones. And that's a lot of playmaking and a lot of speed in the backfield. But the thing that has impressed me the most about Tyrone Tracy, which is usually a struggle for rookie running backs, is being able to protect your quarterback, being able to contribute in the pass blocking department. That's something that Eric Gray, the second-year running back, the guy drafted last year out of Oklahoma, did not do well. And that was something that really frustrated me last year in training camp and in the preseason. Tyrone Tracy, not going to say he looks like a vet, but he looks like someone that's not scared, not saying Eric Gray is, but not scared to sit there, put his nose in it, and take someone off the edge and try to move them out of the pocket. That way Daniel Jones or Drew Lock or whatever quarterback he's working with has a couple more seconds to get a throw off. You want to play on third downs in the NFL? Yeah, you need to be able to catch passes as a running back, but you also have to be able to stay in and protect your quarterback. If you can't, you won't play, and Tyrone Tracy has shown that he can, and I think he's going to be able to play early on in his career. Last rookie I want to talk about before we go to UDFAs. Well, this is a UDFA. So before we get to two more UDFAs, Alex Johnson, the slot corner turned safety out of UCLA. He had 2 picks on Thursday. And this is a guy that we told you in our UDFA video, if I had to bet on one player who I thought was going to make the roster on the UDFAs, it was Alex Johnson. The versatility he has is going to help him go a long way. He was a slot corner at UCLA, but he's been working as a safety for the New York Giants. And if you could play slot and you could play safety, you're going to increase your chances, especially as a UDFA, to have the coach, Brian Dable, write your name in Sharpie when it comes to the 53-man roster. You know Shane Bowen wants to put a lot of DBs on the field. He ran the dime personnel package that features 6 DBs at a 24% clip during his time as the defensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. And Johnson, he might just find his way on this roster if he keeps on doing what he's been doing. Tyler Nubin is someone that we haven't seen a lot of from camp, but he had his back at practice. He missed 2 practices with a calf injury. He is someone that I truly do believe could be the second best rookie in this class for the Giants. Second best rookie in this class for the New York Giants. A UDFA we haven't talked about a lot, though, is Elijah Chapman, the defensive tackle out of SMU. On that pass on Thursday where Daniel Jones found Malik Neighbors down the right sideline, Chapman got a little bit of pressure, and he's able, as an undersized defensive lineman, to use quickness and speed and footwork to get past those interior offensive linemen. You should keep your eyes on him, as well as Casey Rogers, the interior offensive lineman, the UDFA out of Oregon. I've been told by people there that he's playing better than a UDFA should. Not sure if he's going to make the roster, but someone I have been told to keep my eyes on as someone that could crack this 53-man roster. What rookie outside of Malik Neighbors are you most excited about? Because I know everyone's just going to say Malik Neighbors, and you should, because the guy he's a dude, man. That dude's a dude. Dude's a dude. What rookie outside of Neighbors are you most excited for? I'm going to cheat because it's my show. I got 2. Tyler Nubin and Tyrone Tracy, man. I know Tracy's an older back, and he's going to be expected to produce quickly because he is an older guy, and he's not going to have as much of a runway in front of him talking about his career as he's already close to 30 years old. But I'm excited for Tracy, and I really do think we found our safety of the future in Tyler Nubin. Make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue. Let's ride, let's ride. Let's ride. I just saw something came in while we were in that cut. As we got a 3-point goal, Mike G. Bang! Shout out to my guy, Mike G. Everybody drop an MG for me in the chat. I told you, the deal of the day. I'm back from Mexico, but I don't want the party to stop. Every $50 super chat, I'm doing a beer shotgun in today's show. But I need all 180 people watching right now to show love to my guy, Mike G. He is the GOAT, and all this guy does is hit dingers. He's the Aaron Judge of the Giants Now show. All the guy does is put the ball over the fence. He says the king is back. Marsh, who makes the roster for wide receivers besides Hyatt, Neighbors, Slayton, and Robinson. So those 4 guys, they are locks for sure. They are locks for sure. Shout out to Jeffrey Cooperstein equipping me with some equipment. Shout out to Mike G. Best initials in the game right there. MG. MG, baby. MG. All Mike G does is hit dingers. All he does is hit dingers. What I would say, so those 4 receivers are going to make it. I think the Giants keep 6 receivers. Potentially 7. But I would bet more 6 than 7. Maybe 7. I'm going to say Isaiah Hodgins makes the team. That would be 5. I'm going to say Gunnar Olszewski makes the team to return punts. That's 6. If you keep a 7th, that will be between Bryce Ford-Wheaton, Isaiah McKenzie, or Allen Robinson. If you want Bryce Ford-Wheaton, that gives you a guy that's young, potential, and can produce on special teams. You want Allen Robinson, that's a veteran that still can get it done, I believe, not the clip he once did, but at a serviceable level in this league. And if you want Isaiah McKenzie, it's a guy that can return kicks and punts for you. So those 4 are a lock. I'm not ready to say any other receivers are a lock, but you're looking at Olszewski, Hodgins, Bryce Ford-Wheaton, and McKenzie. 2 of those guys are going to join these 4, and I think the Giants will keep 6 receivers. That's where I'm standing at this current moment right there, Mike G. That's where I'm at on that. Woo! Let's ride, let's ride. Every 50 today, we're doing beer shotguns. Shout out to Mike G. Can I get a go Big Blue in the chat? Let's go Big Blue! I got a little leakage on my arm. Do you got a little T-can in this piece? Yeah. My man, shout out to producer Tex. My man Tex killing it on the 1s and 2s. Let's ride, let's ride. Are you seeing the preseason game? Yeah, I'm going to be watching it live here on the channel. Subscribe and turn the notifications on and join us next week when the Giants. Carl. It's all right. It's for care. It shows character. Shows character. It says, yo, Marsh, in 9 months, how many Marshall Juniors will pop up in Mexico? Hopefully none. Hopefully none. Hopefully none, brother. Hopefully none, right? Oh, my God. We're going to get into a mailbag in about 20 minutes. I feel like shoot or shoot, Mike G. Shoot or shoot. Throwing shade. How does my mouth feel? I'm back 100%. I'm back 100% after I had 2 wisdom teeth removed. I feel good. How was Mexico? Amazing. Final thoughts on UPS? Fuck them. Nah, shout out to UPS. Even though they lost my passport, they did find it, and they did deliver it, even though it was a couple of hours late. Mike G, that's a crazy question. But since Carl asked it, and Carl has been supporting me on Giants Now and Knicks Now since summer of 2022, maybe even spring of 2022, or before that, I'll always answer his question. He says, I spit up half my drink. He is something. Those OGs, man, those old heads, they've got no filter. Carl's officially entered the stage of his life. He's got no filter. Oh, man. Last show, remember last week when I just cursed out UPS for an hour and a half? That was some of our best content. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was some of our best content. Oh, my. Gus Needy says, I am controlling myself, baby. It's Thursday. It's Friday Junior. It's Friday Junior. All righty. Says, Marsh, is the air conditioning on? It's on. I think I'm just shining because I got lotion on my face. I'm moisturized, baby. I'm not sweating. I'm not. You know what it is, Tex? I got that Cancun glow on me. I got that Cancun glow on me. Everyone's been hating on me, but you know what? I think it's coming in. I think the tan's looking pretty good right now. Tan's looking pretty good. Let's ride. Let's ride. Carl, you see the picture I posted on IG? I did that for you, dog. I was like, what kind of fit would Carl wear in Mexico? I was blinged up. Wrist piece on bling blow, neck piece on blizzard, baby. All righty, get your questions in. I need everybody watching to ask a question via hashtag Giants. That way, producer Tex's life is easy. Do not make it hard on him. And hit the like button and let's dive into it. Jordan Renan recently released his 53-man roster projection for the New York Giants, and there were 5 players that he cut that I would consider surprise cut candidates. So in today's show here on Giants Now by Chat Sports, I'm going to tell you who those 5 players are. Let's get into it. First player, Darius Slayton, did not make the 53-man roster for the New York Giants that Jordan Renan of ESPN put out. And I thought that was crazy because the New York Giants just used a 6th-round pick on Darius Slayton. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you're using a 6th-round pick on a player and you cut them, you're kind of just punting on it. I know you're hoping that he clears waivers and you bring him back on the practice squad, but I just thought that this was kind of crazy. I don't love the idea of cutting rookies. The rookies should be on the team to grow. Maybe Slayton makes it to the practice squad, but I would keep him on the roster, 1, because he's a solid player, and 2, he's going to be able to contribute on special teams. He had a decorated college career, man, starting out at Hawaii, then transferring to UCLA. He was able there to be one of the best linebackers in the nation, and that is something that I don't take lightly. At the time of the pick, I didn't think that it was going to be one of my favorite picks, but it is something that I appreciate because you look at the stats on screen. 102 tackles, 108 tackles, 91 tackles, 75 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss. Boy, the guy stuffed the stat sheet. And there's enough roster spots on this team, especially at the linebacker spot, for him to make it. Yes, Okereke is going to make it. Yes, McFadden's going to make it. Yes, Simmons is going to make it. But after that, there are spots for a lot of people out there. We know Deontay Johnson has looked really good at camp. We know that Carter Coughlin and Matthew Adams are able to produce in the special teams department. But I also think that Darius Slayton, rookie, can do that. I'd keep him on this team. I don't want to cut him. Another surprise cut that Jordan Renan made was DJ Davidson, now the 3rd-year interior defensive lineman out of Arizona State. He was a 7th-round pick back in that 2022 NFL draft. And while he hasn't, just shown up on the scene and been a major difference maker, there's been some plays where he's popped. There's been some moments where he's flashed. And I thought he's grown every single year. And I'm not ready to just wave the white flag on him and give up on him. Like, this is a guy that maybe is never a starter in this league, but I believe he could be a rotational piece on a pretty solid defensive line. He's going to be competing for a roster spot with guys like Jordan Phillips and Jordan Riley and Jordan Phillips. It's DJ Davidson, Jordan Riley, Jordan Phillips, and Rakeem Nunez-Roches. Elijah Chapman, another guy that I'm keeping my eyes on, man. He's young, he's athletic, he's quick, and he produced like crazy at SMU. I'd keep your eyes on Chapman, but I definitely thought that Davidson was a little bit of a surprise cut candidate from Jordan Renan of ESPN. Another guy that I thought was a little bit of a surprise cut candidate was Dante Turbo Miller. And Turbo, yeah, he earned that name because that guy can push the pedal to the metal. He can go, man. He could be running track somewhere. The fact that ESPN's Jordan Renan had Jacob Sailors, the UFL running back, in and Turbo Miller out. What are we doing, baby? Dante Turbo Miller is a better player than Jacob Sailors. I know Sailors had success in other professional football leagues, but Dante Turbo Miller, he's flashed a receiving game. He's burned linebackers on wheel routes. And yes, he struggled at Thursday's practice. He had 2 drops. But you know what he did? He ended up staying after practice, working with Daniel Jones. Then he and Daniel Jones ran sprints. He knows he's got an opportunity to make this team. And, man, I'm a little bit bullish on Miller. I can't wait for the first preseason game to see him go to work. And I'm going to be honest with you, I seriously doubt Jacob Saywers makes his team. I really haven't heard a peep out of him in training camp. I haven't really seen anything there as my face looks extremely glossy here, but we're all good because we're just moisturized, baby. Try and take care of the sunburn. But I seriously doubt that Saywers does make this team. A take I've come pretty solid on is this. Eric Gray is on the roster bubble for me. I know you just drafted him last year. I know that you don't love cutting players after just one season after you select them in the 5th round. But I think that Tyrone Tracy is better than Eric Gray. I think Dante Miller is better than Eric Gray. And if you're Eric Gray and you can't pass block, you're not going to play. He couldn't pass protect as a rookie. He's once again struggled at times in training camp so far to pass protect. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think Jashaun Corbin's better than him. If you've been watching this show for a while, you know I'm a Jashaun Corbin guy. So maybe I'm being a little bit biased, but I just don't. Go back and watch the stream of the 2023 NFL Draft. When he picked Eric Gray, I said, I don't love this pick. And just here we are, 20 months later, saying I think he might get cut. We've got 2 more players to talk about, but make sure you're hooked up with our proud sponsor, Game Time, the #1 ticketing app in the game. Open your app store, type in Game Time, download it, create an account, and use the promo code ChatSports for your first purchase, and you're going to get $20 off, of course, per terms do apply. I've used all the ticketing apps out there. I don't want to talk bad about them. I just want to tell you how much I love Game Time because it's been the best for me. It's saved me the most money. It's the easiest to use, and it fits the type of person I am. If you're a little bit of a procrastinator, Game Time's for you because prices drop as the events get closer, and Game Time makes sure that you get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. You want to go to a Giants game this year? Get your ticket with Game Time. You want to go catch the Yankees or the Mets? Do it with Game Time. Knicks or Nets? Do it with Game Time. Rangers or Islanders? Do it with Game Time. You want to go to a concert? You want to go to a theater event? You want to go laugh at a comedy show? Get your tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code ChatSports, get $20 off. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Another surprise cut candidate from the 53-man roster projection that Jordan Renan released was Austin Schlottman, the veteran center that the New York Giants ended up signing early on in NFL free agency. He spent time with the Minnesota Vikings last year, and in 249 snaps, he actually played pretty decent football. And I was able to speak to former producer of Giants now, Patrick Seatman, who is a Vikings fan, and he hosts our Vikings channel here, and he's like, Schlottman's, dude, not the best player in the world, but he's going to compete, and he's not scared. He's going to work, and he's going to do everything he can to win a rep. And I think that he should be the backup center. Jordan Renan said he had Morrissey in and Schlottman out as you get a look at this O-line depth chart. And you know what? With the addition of Greg Van Roten, I do think that it makes a guy like Schlottman a little bit more expendable because Van Roten does have that guard center flex capability. But I'm not ready to just punt on Schlottman because he's done in this. Like, I'd rather keep Schlottman on the team than a Marcus McKeithen or a Jalen Mayfield or a Kubis or a Miles or a Kajus, but that's just me. Last surprise cut candidate he had was Javarius Owens, and I'm sure when Jordan Renan did this, he didn't even think twice about putting Owens on the team. But through a couple more training camp practices, he has looked pretty damn good, man. And I told you last year I was a fan of his. I think he can contribute on special teams. He did that at a high clip at the University of Houston. And Owens has already had a pretty good camp so far. During the week this week, he already had 2 interceptions. Right place, right time. And he's taking advantage of his opportunities because Jalen Mills is on the NFI list and Javarius Owens has been working with the second team. And if Mills, who's on the NFI list, is unable to get off it, how is he going to make this team? That's who Renan had in. He had Mills in over Javarius Owens. And while Mills is much more accomplished in this league than Owens is, if you're not healthy, you're not available, how are you going to make the team? You can't put someone on the team that's on the NFI list. Can't take up a roster spot for someone that's healthy and available to play and young and has upside like Darius Owens. I'm going to take the quote from what Shane Bowen said today about Tyler Nubin on Thursday. It's hard to get better if you're not at practice. And it's different because Nubin's a rookie and Mills is someone that's closer to retirement than entry in this league. But I think it's true. If you're not healthy, you're not able to practice, learn the new scheme, how is the new defensive coordinator going to trust you? I actually am in a really good spot when it comes to my personal trust and confidence in the New York Giants safety room. Like, I love Jason Pinnock. Jay Penny, one of the most athletic players in the NFL. You guys know I love Dane Belton. Right spot, right time, always creating turnovers, always on the ball. And I think Tyler Nubin was a steal of a draft. I love Javarius Owens. And Jalen Mills, he's a guy that's a veteran that can give you some veteran leadership from time to time. And Alex Johnson, he's been someone that's shown up at camp as well. Just a quick little recap here for the cut candidates that ESPN had. Darius Muasau, the rookie linebacker. DJ Davidson, the third-year defensive tackle. Dante Turbo Miller, the veteran center, Austin Schlottman, and the second-year safety out of the University of Houston, Javarius Owens. If you are ready for the NFL season, hit that thumbs up icon. This time, next week, we are watching Giants football. It's finally here. I'm pumped up, man. Give me a follow over on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. We could chop it up. We could talk some rock at @MarshallGreen_ on both platforms. Lord Buddy Bear in the building. What's up, man? Lord Buddy Bear says, am I in the Giants Hall of Fame club? Probably. Do you want to be? Because you can just say it. I'll put you in. I haven't told anybody this. We're going to make some new clubs for the season this year. We're going to do some new things. So hope everyone looks forward to that. I know we do the super chat thing and we have fun with that, but man, that's my job and that's how people support this show. And that's how this show grows, man. I was the 5th employee at Chat Sports in January 2021. We're at 30 now. We've grown like crazy, and it's because of the support of all of you amongst all of our channels. So if people want to support this show and they have the means to support via donation, yeah, we're going to show them love. Doesn't mean we're not showing love to people that don't super chat. If I see you in my chat and I recognize your name because you're in the chat, you're always participating, you're showing love, we're always going to show you love. You don't have to super chat to be a real one. You do not. Rob Jiggle, what's up, man? $5 super chat, my man. Marsh, are you going to the New York Giants at Texans game Saturday, August 17th at Houston Texans preseason NRG Stadium, Houston Texan, #Giants chat. I will not be. I'll be live on the channel. Live on this channel, doing a watch party, having play-by-play, throwing back some drinks, hanging with the real ones, and watching some Giants football. Every Sunday this season, every Giants game this season, we're going to be live on the channel hanging out with tens and hundreds of thousands of New York Giants fans. We're going to close today's show with a mailbag. If you want to be featured on the mailbag, #Giants or Super Chat. If you Super Chat, you're guaranteed to get on the show. And if you want to have a chance to get on there, use #Giants in your comment. That way producer Tex can use our software to put it up on screen. If they are Giants football related, yes. I think someone, yeah, like if they're Giants football related, absolutely. That's a good one. Orange Skull says, Marsh, where's Double R? Double R was here last week. I've heard a rumor that Double R is showing up, and he is showing out week 1 as we take down Minnesota Vikings 0-1 and Patrick Seatman. It's a rumor out there that I have been told from Rob Rodriguez that he is going to show up week 1 and he is going to take down Patrick Seatman and Minnesota Vikings 0-1. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Shout out to Brandon Reyes. Shout out to Trey Games, Tawny G, Joey DeLuca, Matthew Williams. I appreciate all of y'all. Untoxic. We're working on it. A lot of people, Seeps is out of town. Sam Brown is out of town. We're working on the pump, pass, and kick. When summer's here, people take PTO. So it's been hard. Seeps is my roommate, and I don't even see the guy. He's out of town so much. So I'm trying. All righty, let's close today's show with a mailbag. Shout out to all the people tuned in. Energy's been awesome. I'm feeding off it. Which stadium am I closer to, Rob Jig? I live in downtown Dallas. So I'm closer to Arlington, which is where the Cowboys play. Grew up in Houston, Texas. Born on Long Island. My mind went to the James Bond gun. Bill! What's up, Bill? Bill! No, born on Long Island. Bill, Reed did a good job on that video. I thought Reed did a good job on that video, Bill. It's nice to see the team grow, and I don't have to work 58,000 hours a week to do everything. So it's nice. It's been nice to see the team grow. He did a really good job. Shout out to him. He's been helping out a lot on Giants. Shout out to Reed. All righty, let's close today's show with a mail sack. It's mailbag time here on Giants Now by Chat Sports, and you're watching me, Marshall Green, your host. We're going to be answering questions from subscribers on today's show. If you didn't get your question answered, it's your own fault. So go down in the comments section, use hashtag Giants, drop a comment, turn your notifications on, and subscribe so you can join us next week when we do end up going live. My guy, Mike G, all the dude does is hit dingers, baby. What's up, Mike G? Says, Marsh. What's up, man? Good initials, by the way. MG, those are pretty good. Says, always good to see you, my brother. Always good to see you, my man. Hearing Micah McFadden might lose his job to a UDFA. Johnson, I think. What are your thoughts? Appreciate you. Appreciate you, my man. I'm not ready to say that Micah McFadden is going to lose his job, but what I will say is the Giants have a good problem on their hands. They got a couple of good linebackers on this team. Deontay Johnson, second-year UDFA out of Toledo, has been in and out running with the first-team defense. He's gotten his hands on a couple of passes. He looks really good. Shane Bowen has sung the praises of him. Bobby Okereke has talked about how good he looks. Bobby Okereke said he kind of looks like me out there, which is probably the nicest compliment a dude can give another dude. But Deontay Johnson looks good, and he credited his success so far this year to the familiarity he has with the scheme. He said at Toledo he ran a similar defense that they do now with Shane Bowen as the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. So a good problem to have, a lot of good linebackers, but I don't think that McFadden's job is quite yet in jeopardy. Be good competition, though, that's for sure. Jaquicks! What's up, man? Why is Neighbors kind of nice in camp? Kind of nice. The kid's been on fire. It's been unreal how good he's been. Every single day, it's a new Malik Neighbors highlight at camp. And I don't want to just drink all the Kool-Aid, but I'm drinking about half the Kool-Aid of Malik Neighbors. You don't want to go all the way in on training camp hype. We did it with Darren Waller last year, and we were extremely disappointed. But he ain't Darren Waller. He's a rookie, and he's Malik Neighbors. And the Giants, they got one of them ones, and that dude out of the bayou. Brian Brown, what's up, man? Is preseason lock a competition for DeVito and Locke? Is preseason low-key a competition, if that's what you're saying? Absolutely, DeVito and Drew Lock are competing in the preseason. I would say that it's pretty much Drew Lock has that. It's Drew Lock's job to lose. But DeVito, we know, is one competitive dude. That dude's got a couple of chips on his shoulder. And if you're DeVito, you know if you outplay Locke in the preseason, you got a really good chance to make this roster. I'm excited. for the first time in a long time, I'm like really pumped up for Giants preseason football because whether it's Daniel Jones, whether it's Drew Lock, or whether it's Tommy DeVito, we're going to watch 3 quarterbacks that have all won big-time games in the NFL before. Maybe not big-time games, but they've won games in the league before. Gilly, what's up, girl? It says, which running backs are we keeping, and what do you expect our snap ratio to be among our running backs? We've always been our most successful running back through committee. You're right. Bradshaw, Jacobs, Earth, Wind, Fire. I would expect for Devin Motor Singletary to get the lion's share of the reps. And if you want to break it down to percentages, 65 to 75% of the touches, I think, go to Devin Singletary. And then I think the rest of them are split up between a guy like Tyrone Tracy. Maybe Dante Miller gets a couple. Maybe Eric Gray ends up making the team and he gets a couple. But Singletary, Tracy, and Turbo are the 3 running backs that I want to see get the reps. I don't know. If I had to bet, I would say the Giants keep 4 running backs. Singletary, Tracy, Turbo, and it's going to be a battle between Eric Gray and Jay Sean Corbin. Maybe they keep 5, but that's kind of where my head is at right now on that, Gilly. Great question, by the way. My question to you, though. 6.5 wins for the New York Giants. The odds makers out west in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Going there at the end of the month. It's going to be a blast. They've set the Giants' win total for the 2024 NFL season at 6.5 wins. Over, under, let me know your thoughts. Steven Bellinis, what's up, man? If the safety room plays well and Deonte Banks is a top 20 corner, how much can that compensate for the lack of talent at CB2? A lot. Like, if Deonte Banks becomes a lockdown corner, if Deonte Banks goes from a rookie that flashed a lot to a guy that is a top 20 corner, a top 25 corner, like a legit boundary shutdown, like I'm in the face following around wide receiver ones. Like, if Deonte Banks becomes that guy and the safety room plays well, and Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence and Azeez Ojulari and Micah McFadden and Deontay Johnson and Bobby Okereke are putting pressure on the quarterback, yeah, that's going to make life easier for that CB2. I don't know who that's going to be. If I had to bet right now, I think it's Nick McLeod. But I just would like to go get somebody at that spot that's maybe going to be a Hall of Famer. Name rhymes with Nefon Milmore. I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool to add to this team. We're going to get to more questions in a second, but make sure you're hooked up with our proud sponsor, Game Time, the #1 ticketing app in the game. Open your app store, type in Game Time, download it, and use the promo code ChatSports. When you use that promo code ChatSports, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. The reason I use Game Time is because you get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer. So if you're a procrastinator like Marsh is, you're going to love Game Time. I went to the Home Run Derby this summer because of Game Time. I was able to go to the Grateful Dead concert last summer because of Game Time. I went to a Dallas Mavericks, New York Knicks game this year because of Game Time. You want to go to a Giants game, concert, or anything else where you got to buy a ticket, you could do it with Game Time. So download the app from the App Store. Use the promo code ChatSports after you create an account. So download, create an account, promo code ChatSports, CHATSPORTS, and get $20 off your first purchase. I'll make sure all that information is in the comments and description of today's show. Last minute tickets, best prices guaranteed. My boy Johnny, what's up, man? Love you, Marsh. Been a while since I've been able to make a live stream. Quick question. Do you think John Michael Schmitz will be starting by beginning of the season, and will this be another Evan Neal case? Please don't put this on my Johnny. Why would you even make me think about this? Yes, I think that John Michael Schmitz is ready for week 1. I do. He's dealing with a shoulder injury, and he hasn't really participated all that much at Giants training camp. I think he's going to be ready to go, and I'm praying to God it's not another Evan Neal situation. I'll say this, though. John Michael Schmitz is 25 years old. He's not a 22-year-old rookie that entered the league. Like, he's got to get ready to go. He's got to play, and if he doesn't play good this year because he didn't play good as a rookie, you need to probably go find another center. And It just sucks, man. Like, if John Michael Schmitz busts, maybe I shouldn't talk offensive line anymore. So I thought Evan Neal was going to be good, as did everybody else. And I thought John Michael Schmitz was going to be good. Maybe Carmen Brasillo can save the day for him. That's John Michael Schmitz. I don't think you could save Evan Neal. I think it's just cooked. He's cooked. But I do think that Carmen Brasillo can help John Michael Schmitz be a good pro. I do believe that. Brian Brown, my guy. So what are your impressions on Deontay Johnson? Do you think he has a chance to start over Micah? We talked a little bit about this earlier. A chance to start over Micah. It's hard to say. Like, Micah McFadden's already been a really good player in this league. Over 100 tackles last year. I don't want to diminish what Deontay Johnson is doing. It's still only 7 practices in to training camp. But he has looked good. And he's been running with the ones. And like we talked about, Bo and Ando Carrick have hyped him up. How about we just have 3 really good inside linebackers? That'd be kind of cool. Bronx boy, he says, I heard Illuminor got manhandled today in practice by Burns and Tibbs. You hear anything on that? Should we be worried? Look, you're not going to win every rep. I didn't necessarily hear that he got manhandled, kind of like I do to you when we play one-on-one. But I'm not worried about Jermaine Illuminor because for the last 2 years, he's been a solid right tackle in this league. And he's much better than what we've had the last 2 seasons. And you know what? Brian Burns should probably manhandle Jermaine Illuminor every once in a while. Kayvon Thibodeau should probably manhandle Jermaine Illuminor from time to time. Not worried about Jermaine Illuminor at all. He's going to be solid. He is. Hector Barrera, my man, is Justin Simmons still in talks, or are we good at safety? I think the Giants are probably good at safety. I'd say probably so. With Newbin off the bench, with Belton, with Pinnock. I think they're probably good at safety. I'm not going to rule it out, but I think it's less likely. I think it's less likely than it was a couple of weeks ago. If you're ready for the NFL season, hit that thumbs up icon. We are days away. Days away from preseason game 1, which means we are a couple weeks away from game 1 against the Minnesota Vikings. I cannot believe it. Hit that thumbs up icon for me if you're ready. Yeah, Gillies, CB2 before safety. CB2 before safety for sure. All right. Shout out to everybody that tuned in today. I appreciate all of you. A little bit of a quicker show today, but I thought it was a lot of content. I thought it was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. I appreciate y'all. We'll have videos on the channel the rest of the week. We'll be live on the channel Monday. And then Thursday, a week from today, we are live. Giants, Lions, preseason watch party. A watch party for the New York Giants is a week away. If you've never been a part of it, you better buckle up because they get crazy. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all later. Let's go, Big Blue.